so sorry, but I'm not taking off my glasses.
Lockyer takes a shot, it's low! He's got it! I think he's got it!
Merlin, are you going to speak?
But for me, it was a winner. David.
Well, I'm afraid it wasn't for me, Margaret.
Thank God you're here. Grandma's been raped.
On.
Welcome back to On the Air Tonight, the #1 podcast and show that reviews free-to-air content.
I'm Larry.
And I'm David. We're back doing our favourite thing in the world with the hesitant sigh in between.
Can you tell we want to be here, folks?
Absolutely.
Yeah, no, we love it. We love it. We just sometimes we get demoralized by the content that we have to watch for the potatters, but we wouldn't change it for the world. It wasn't terrible. It was fine.
I'd do anything for Love Island, but I won't do
crack.
Yes, I won't do crack, and I won't talk about manifestations and things being trippy for an hour.
Look, we'll get into it. We'll get into it. There were some people on there that will be spoken about. How have you been though? Since it feels like we've been out of the studio for 2 weeks, because it has been about 2 weeks.
It has been a fortnight since we've been in the studio. Glad to be back, honestly. It was good to have a little cheeky sabbatical away from the mics.
Feeling a bit silly now?
Feeling a bit loosey-goosey.
We're going to get weird today, folks.
Looking to just kill a couple of people and bury them in the desert.
Bringing the thumbnail energy into the podcast. Usually leave this one pre-recording button.
Let's get weird, dude.
Let's get weird, dude.
Let's just sell all our possessions. Let's hit the road.
I don't know about you. I don't know if you know this about me, but I'm kind of weird.
I'm kind of quirky.
I'm like the weirdest one in the room.
You know, like the Joker from Christopher Nolan's Batman. I kind of like him. Kind of just based my personality off Heath Ledger, just doing something really quirky.
Oh my God, he was so talented.
So talented.
I think I'm like a bit of a radical anarchist. My spirit animal is Harley Quinn.
That's so unique.
And I don't know about you, but I love pineapple on pizza. Oh my God. If that's your Hinge profile.
If you don't like dogs, don't talk to me.
I'm a bit of a dog person, and if you find that weird, then maybe we can't be together.
We can make fun of dating profiles as much as we want, because we only see one side of them. Can you imagine how bad our populace is?
The male. Yeah, that's very
I don't know
true.
about you, but mine's just like
the male Hinge profile.
I think like when I've had dating profiles, I've looked at mine and gone, yeah, that'll do. And then like a week later, I'm like, oh, you suck. This is the worst.
I put this on the market.
Yeah.
I put this on the sexual marketplace with no likes. What's going on?
It'll go between waves of me just feeling on top of the world. Like, yeah, I'm a cool dude.
Yeah.
Come check it out. And then other weeks I'm just like, I'm the guy who rips his pants while dancing.
Have you ever had a moment where you look after you make the Hinge profile? I know you said you go through waves of confidence, but do you ever really like put a one-liner into Hinge and go, yeah, that's fucking it. Oh, I fucking nailed it. This is going to be fishing with dynamite, or is there always hesitancy?
There's times when I do think that where I'm like, yes, this is clinical. This is a century.
There's no way I won't crush.
This is 2 centuries, not out.
Yeah.
But then like I'll wait 2 days and be like, well, no likes. I must be fucking ugly.
Yeah, dude. You find a killer photo of yourself where you're like, oh, that's the best angle, and none of my insecurities are present in that photo. Oh my God. And then you just get zero attention. You go, oh, guess that was just an individualist taste of mine.
And then you upload a photo from more than 3 years ago and you get a like on that. You're like, that's a lie. That's not the person you're going to date.
Oh, I get it. I just have to catfish people. That's how I'm going to go on dates.
I'm closer to looking 30 than I ever have in my life. Sorry, love.
Sorry, this photo from 2012 isn't completely accurate.
Sorry, these pics of me at schoolies where I got an awesome tan and abs. It just isn't the thing anymore.
Oh, wow, I lied about my age on my Hinge profile. Whoa, so what?
Speaking of age.
Says I'm 18.
Speaking of age, we are celebrating a birthday in the in the free-to-air and podcasting world. Happy birthday, Tom.
Thank you, mate.
The Big 27 Club.
The Big 27 Club. I am a year older. Another lap around the sun.
Oh, yeah.
Nothing really changes, does it?
Except your Hinge bio.
Literally, that ticks over, unfortunately. Because I've just put the date of birth in there.
Yeah, very true.
Yeah.
Very true.
And then what happens is you show up on a first date and you see the disappointment just wash over their eyes. You go,
You're 27? My dad was once 27.
My dad had me when I was 23, when he was 23.
Had me when I was 23. That's a weird age for adoption, love.
No, yeah, we had a good weekend celebrating celebrating me being another year older. Birthdays are weird. Like, I was thinking about that. It is a weird thing to celebrate. It's just everyone gets like one day all about them every single year. And it just happens to be the day, like we just chose that was the day that you came out of your mother's vagina.
Yeah, I mean, you didn't even choose it. It's just the day that happened.
You earned nothing. That's what I mean. Like I did nothing to deserve balloons at work.
Yeah,
I did nothing to deserve the hugs.
People buying you presents, praise, singing songs to you while looking at cake awkwardly.
I just showed up.
Yep.
And now it's like, oh, okay, all this fanfare's about me.
Yeah, it's almost like an anniversary of like, you're not dead yet.
Yeah.
You haven't died.
Yeah. It's like I could have sat in a room all year and no one would have known it and just did nothing and we're still celebrating.
I think we're kind of in the same boat where we just don't really care too much about celebrating birthdays.
Speak for yourself. The guy's had a massive party every single year since 21.
You didn't have that big of it. Like, I mean...
It's not a massive party, but like I was thinking of my friends who really has parties of like 20 plus people each year. Like there's not that many.
No. Ours are like mine are pretty few and far between. Like I don't celebrate my birthday at all. Like,
yeah, like you didn't do one.
No. I'm more likely that people will be like, what do you want to do for your birthday? I'm like, just to be left alone.
Yeah.
Just give me one day where I can just do nothing and not feel bad about it.
And then the do-gooders try to like, no, we got to do something to celebrate you. And it's like, I want to do nothing. That would be the nicest present if you want to make me happy.
Yeah. Make someone feel special by messaging them on their birthday and then that person's just like, oh, I really just didn't want to get any messages today. I'm sounding like such a
Grinch, dude. The man who hates birthdays.
I don't hate
how the Grinch stole birthdays.
I don't hate birthdays. I just hate people who celebrate them.
Yeah, okay, sorry. I dragged you to my house on the weekend.
No, I'm kidding. It's a noteworthy thing to celebrate.
See, that's a
milestone.
That's a way cooler take to have to like not care and like you genuinely have that. But I'm like, I can't sit here and say that I don't.
I just don't mind.
Be doted over on my birthday.
Yeah, I think I had like a big 18th. Not even a big. I had like 12 mates around and then went to the valley.
But then you have like 4 or 5 huge parties throughout the year that don't celebrate your birthday.
Yeah.
You'll have Halloween parties. You'll have just porn parties, like random theme parties.
Yeah. I suppose this is going to sound such a paradox for someone who loves to be who loves to perform and hosts a podcast, but
can't not dance to My Humps when it comes on.
Yes, slut dropping and ripping pants when My Humps comes on, but just really don't like making it all like doing a me situation. Not saying that anyone does for their birthday, but the idea of having like everyone around going, we've all got to celebrate my birthday.
Yeah. You don't want you to be the event.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. It's no offense to anyone who does.
No, I don't take it.
Each to their own, man.
You can stop saying anyone who does. I know you're talking to me directly at this point.
Not everything's about you, Tom. Your birthday was last week, mate.
Okay. No, it is in character for you because you like attention, but you hate compliments. Which usually don't go hand in hand.
Yeah, I'm
like if someone says something nice, you're like, that's fucking cringe. I hate it.
It's not that bad. It's more just a really uncomfortable. Thanks for saying that.
And everyone gets a bit weird around compliments, but I know that you specifically, excuse me, I would argue hate them more than most. But then, like, love attention in I suppose dancing and just like being the center of attention in a room. You don't mind being that either. Making
people laugh is like the best feeling in the world. But yeah, very rarely like if someone pays me a compliment, do I actually acknowledge it and go, yeah, no, I believe that's true?
What if you make a bunch of people laugh and then they go, hey, that was really funny?
Then I'm just like, that's condescending. Because now you're saying as if like, well, I can't be this good from you.
Yeah.
Like if someone says something funny and you're like, that's pretty good of you. Like it's an anomaly.
It's like, what? And I'm not normally funny? It's like when someone's like, oh, you look nice today. What? I look like shit every other day? Crippling insecurity is what it is.
Yeah, 100%. Just can't take a good thing for what it is. Just like, oh, you look nice today. Fuck you saying, mate?
Yeah.
Saying 364 days, circle in the sun, I just look like a bag of dicks.
And the person said it as an offhanded comment to try and make you feel good.
Yeah.
And you're like, you piece of shit.
Yeah.
Jesus. We wouldn't survive on the show that we watched tonight, would we?
No, we wouldn't.
Before we get into it, we did have a good weekend.
Yes.
We had a few drinks around at the new farm place.
New farm.
Did you have a good time?
I had a ripper time, mate.
That's nice.
It was fun festivities. Tom hosted for his 27th born day. Probably had maybe 20 people around.
Would have been, I'd say at its peak, I'd say there were probably almost 30.
You don't know that many people.
Maybe not all at once. Not trying. Okay, 20.
Excuse
I'm
me.
not trying to beef the numbers up.
No,
I just know from the people attending. Yeah,
I think you accrued 30 guests over the period of from you started at 2 p.m.
Yeah,
early start.
Oh yeah,
and we were
the inflatable pool.
We went until 3:30. Putting on Top Gun in your fucking really entering the danger zone on the 14th hour of drinking.
Yeah, 3 a.m. Top Gun. Jake was like, "Should we go to bed?" I was like, "Nah, let's put Tom Cruise on, dude."
And then for nostalgia purposes, I was like, I'm going to go sleep downstairs under the house. Like, you've got to describe to our audience, Tom has a Queenslander with an undercroft area. You've probably been to plenty of places like this. Had a couch downstairs. It was raining outside. Really cozy vibes. Had fairy lights on. I was like, yeah, I really want to fall asleep to this. And you and your mate Candace, shout out to Candace, big fan of the pod, was like, don't sleep downstairs. That's a dumb idea. I was like, no. This is going to remind me of my old shithole of a Queenslander.
That you hated sleeping under when you were there.
I loved sleeping under there, man.
We were just I was talking to another friend of the podcast, Nick, about the awful days of waking up at Franklin Street under the house being destroyed by mosquitoes.
See, that's crazy.
In the summer.
So Jordan and I, guest on the podcast, but also resident of our house in Franklin Street, we both agreed it's like one of the best night's sleep we had when it's raining on that old dumpy couch. Like, it's better sleep than in our bed.
In the summer?
Summer feels a bit gross.
Summer's so hot. Nick was talking about, and I didn't have this experience personally, but like being destroyed by mosquitoes and then having to put a blanket over yourself.
Just to cover yourself from mosquitoes.
But it's 33 degrees.
Do you want to have heat stroke or do you want to be chewed up alive by mozzies?
Exactly. You have to choose one. So there were multiple sleeping options upstairs and you were still like, no, I'm going down.
I'm going down. And I did. And I woke up 2 hours later, like, it was the sound of...
And I woke up.
Really good thing to wake up to. Just you having to slap yourself.
Disgusting. And there were multiple sleeping stations upstairs. You could have been cozy in. And then I wake up to Jake just being gone. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
I guess he's out of here.
Smoke bombed.
I guess he's sweet to drive home at 5:30 a.m.
Had better things to do, mate.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, I did.
You got a Hungry Jack's on the way home and passed out.
I had places to be.
I had a good time at the party, obviously.
Yeah, how was... Did you enjoy your festivities, mate?
How was I?
Yeah.
How am I going?
How are you?
Thank you for checking in.
That's all right.
No, it was a great night.
Anyway, to the show.
Fall into the trap every time. No, I had a great time. And then I can't sleep during the day, so I only slept till about 8. And then just hair of the dog the next day, Sunday.
Got back on it.
The inflatable pool was still up, so I was like, oh, there's so much beer left over at my house.
Yeah.
Guess we're going again.
I love that you, like, on the event for your birthday, you were like, bring your togs, we've got a pool here. Like, you made it really sound like a pool was part of the house. It's like, in reality, you went to Kmart and got a $5 kiddie pool.
Okay. $89 and the biggest one you can get.
That costs $89.
Yeah, dude, it's got a filter. It's got a filter on the back of it.
Jesus. How long did that take to set up?
Oh, all morning. By the time you got there, it had only just stopped filling up. Like the pressure on the hose was so weak that we had to just leave the hose in there for, it probably took a good 3 hours to fill up.
Yeah, right.
And I've heard that if you leave them up in the summer, mosquitoes breed in them. So you kind of have to drain the water out of it and then start all over again. Point is, got back in the pool the next day and got some real use out of it.
Yeah. Did that make you feel better?
Yeah, it actually really did. It was a perfect summer day. Shout out, friend of the podcast, Alessandria, came around. I woke up and the last thing you want to do is like just spend the next day on your own when you just...
Just complete opposite of me.
Yeah.
I want to be left alone watching something and eating bad food, and you're just like, I want company.
Literally, I woke up and I'm like, oh, I'm coming down off a massive high of friends. Is
Yes,
what I'm saying.
high of life.
Life and enjoyment. Good save. to just and alcohol as well. I won't deny that. And then to the next day, just go to nothing and just be on my own. I was like, absolutely not. We need to keep this going.
That is actually the definition of Sunday scaries, if that happens.
Yeah. So then was so happy to see a message on my phone like, can I come around for a swim? And I was like, oh, what was I about to do? Absolutely.
Watch Top Gun again.
Yeah, literally. So I was like,
zone.
come on. Jumped in the pool and then spent another six hours in the pool the next day and got quite burnt.
Yeah. Well, you're looking like you got a good base on.
Yeah. And then the Monday.
Yeah, so you had Monday off.
So
Lucky duck, 3-day week.
Yeah, through work we have they give us a day of birthday leave, which you can use within 7 days of your birthday. So I was like, I know I'm going to have a big night on Saturday for my party. I'll take the Monday off. Monday, that was my me day. So I had Saturday people day, Sunday people day. Monday, I was like, all right, time to finally live with myself.
Recharge the batteries.
Yeah, maybe I can not be around people just for once and try to just be okay with this guy up here.
Start just having a really awkward conversation with your Uber Eats delivery driver. Hey, how was your weekend?
You sweet, dude?
Yeah. I'll give you a tip if you just stay for an extra 20.
So sad. You can have some chips. Did you keep them warm? How is driving? You guys get paid well? I've got
Sir, I just want to feed my family on my $3 an hour job.
I'll pay you $1 more than that to chat to me for 3 minutes.
Sold.
So had my me day on Monday.
Nice.
And went to City Cave.
Did you?
Did I tell you that? I
No,
don't think
you
I told
didn't.
that. Yeah,
No.
I did a City Cave on Monday. Float bath.
Yeah, float.
A salt float. For the uninitiated, City Cave is like a day spa you can go to.
Yes. Today's not sponsor of the show, but we'll get a plug anyway, is City Cave, the newest day spa you can go to where they have infrared saunas, masseuses, and some of the newest technology in rejuvenation.
The newest one that I took part in was the salt baths, which you float in. They're these big baths with LED lighting all around them. Google it. It looks like something out of fucking Minority Report.
Yes.
Very futuristic and sleek. You jump in there. It's got 400 kilos of salt.
Yep.
And because there's so much salt, it just keeps you up.
It's dense.
It's dense.
More dense than the Dead Sea, they say.
Is that what they say?
That's what they say.
I would say so. Like, yeah, this is the artificial man-made Dead Sea. And you just float there for an hour. It's sensory deprivation, so you turn the lights off. There's a little bit of music for your first time because I don't want to like freak you out.
You've got plugs in your ears so you don't get salt water in your ears.
Yeah.
Lights are turned off so you can't see your hand in front of your face. And the temperature of the water in the atmosphere is 32.5 degrees, which is apparently what your body temp is.
That's what I was told, that it warms to your body heat. So, but is everyone's body heat the same?
Well, your regular body temperature is meant to be, I guess, what they have, which is 32.5 degrees.
Right.
Did you feel hot in there though?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because they kind of sold it as, what I've seen is
you don't feel anything.
What I've been sold is they heat it to your particular body temperature. So it like senses your body temperature and then the heat adjusts.
I don't believe so.
No, I don't. That's kind of how it sounds on the website. But I think they're like, this is the uniform body heat. This is what you should be, everyone. And then we'll put it at that.
I mean, I just don't know how I'm no scientist. I've done any research, but how would the water in the atmosphere identify your body temp and then regulate itself to you? Because your body temp would constantly be fluctuating, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Especially if you're going from like a hot to a cold or a cold to a hot.
I've seen crazier things though. Have you seen Minority Report?
Not in a while.
They do more than...
I've seen Tom Cruise on Oprah. That's pretty crazy.
I've seen him in Top Gun very recently.
That is the danger zone.
That is the danger zone. So anyway, you lie in there and you just fucking cruise for an hour, and you're supposed to like not put any pressure on yourself to meditate or anything like that. But if you do feel yourself going to sleep, you just go with it.
Yeah. For an hour of sleep in the salt bath, apparently, or the float is equivalent to 4 hours sleep in real life.
Is that right? Mm-hmm. That sounds like some fucking wacky woo-woo pseudoscience to me, but
so does water and atmosphere that regulates to your body temperature.
So is just salt in a bath that makes you float. I'm pretty sure I've been duped this whole time. $80 down the Drew zane.
Which one did you go to?
Paddington. Who's your...
Go to the Taringa one, ladies and gentlemen. Go to the... No ties there at all, but you'll get a good service if you go to Taringa.
My barber, who I won't name or name the name of his shop, he was telling me that he went to one that his mate owns. I didn't know if it was the same as you. I can't remember. It might have been Taringa. But he was like, I did a couples one because you can do a couples bath. He went in there with his missus and he fucked in the bath.
Can't think of anything worse. You go somewhere to have some like solitude and some meditation time, and you just, hey.
Dude, those couples ones, I was thinking about it, like everyone would fuck in them. Like you're in the dark, there's no cameras, you're naked because you're going in the nude. Like you got nothing. I reckon a lot of people would fuck in them.
Yeah. But also the amount of salt would probably sterilize itself.
Yeah, but there's still sputs floating around the bath afterwards. And I was told that they drain the water. My barber again told me this. He's like, yeah, we fucked. I was like, oh, yuck. He's like, oh, it's all right. We know the owner. I was like, oh, okay. Which one did you go to?
That doesn't permit it.
I was like, which one did you go to? And he told me. I was like, okay, so I won't go to that one. And he's like, oh, dude, it's fine. They drain the water afterwards and then refill it. And then I went to my one. They do not drain the water afterwards.
Did you ask them?
No, you can just, they tell you at the start, they filter it. And they...
That's what he meant by drain. They filter it.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, okay. So they just filter all the sputs out of it. I'm like, don't fucking tell me you came in a... Yeah, anyway. I was like, that's disgusting.
Yeah, well, I mean, you're not meant to dip your mouth or eyes into the water because it'll fucking hurt. It's salt water. So now, if you were thinking of doing it, that's even more incentive to not.
Yeah. So we just went from a plug for City Cave to don't go there at all.
No, go, but tread lightly.
Yeah. Bit of a weird one, and we might cut this out depending on your reaction.
Please.
But before you get into the bath, they give you Vaseline to cover up any small cuts that you have.
Yeah, if you're some weirdo covered in cuts.
Well, I have a small laceration on my finger, as you can see.
Laceration. Okay, nerd.
Okay, dude.
Say cut.
4 syllables. Sorry, it's too highbrow for you.
Yeah, it's a cut down onto a quarter of the time it takes. I got a cut on me finger.
I got this gap in me skin.
Yeah.
That's how you'd rather.
I got me ouchie on the end of me body.
Now speaking your language.
My phalange has a laceration on the third ventricle.
Bit of a cuticle mishap on the end of my tootsies.
Yes.
Yeah, so they give you Vaseline to cover those ones.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they do.
Oh, yeah, baby. You know, if you're in a dark room on your own and there's Vaseline there, it's like, how are you not having sex?
I'm covering up more than one cut. I'm covering up a murder on myself.
So I did it. On my finger laceration because if you don't do it, obviously you get salt in there and it stings.
Oh yeah.
And this which is a bit of a weird one. I got in and I covered this one up and it didn't hurt on my finger, but then my balls like really stung.
Did you shave your balls or?
No, I just trimmed my balls.
Okay.
And I was like, my balls cut up like on the underside of them.
Do you scratch?
Yeah, maybe that did it.
Maybe you scratched a bit too hard.
Scratched it too hard. And I was like, oh, my balls are sticking in here. This is uncomfortable. I was like, do I just ride this out and maybe I'll come out the other side of it? I wasn't coming out the other side of it. So I got out and I had to put lacerate all over my balls.
What's worse than fucking putting salt in a wound on your genitals? Come on, man.
That's what I mean, dude. So I'm standing there in City Cave in the dark with a Q-tip just lathering my nuts.
When there was already salt on there.
Vaseline.
So you're just rubbing the salt into your balls and then putting a casing of lube over it.
Yeah, I've gone in, come out, dried everything, well, dried them, and then applied Vaseline, and then it helped afterwards. I was like, oh, okay.
Thought
Guess I need to scratch my balls less aggressively.
Thought I treated my body like shit. Fucking just pumping in the Dead Sea into your ball sack. Good God, man.
Yeah. After that, it was cozy, dude. I'm going to do that every time, regardless of each time I go back, I'm like, give me an extra jar of Vaseline.
How'd you go with the sensation of floating?
I use the head pillow.
Okay.
You know, they have those.
They're for amateurs, yeah.
Well, for first timers, yeah.
Amateurs, yeah.
Sure it was. So I used that for a little bit, but then I was like, I'll try this without it. And I was pretty sweet. Like, you do stay up above water. You just kind of like, you gotta get comfy. You stretch out at the start.
Yeah.
Stretches fucks you up. And if you crack your fingers, it like echoes throughout the whole room. It's apparently, again, the science is what they told me before. And there's science to show that the liquid forms in between your discs and your back. And it's like the most fucking hectic,
therapeutic,
relaxing thing.
Yeah, good rehabilitation.
Yeah. So no, it was good. I wish I fell asleep, but you just kind of try to put all your thoughts out of your mind. I've never really been good at meditating. I can't fucking empty it. But I might go again and see if I can fall asleep.
I was real tense for like the opening. Like I feel like I was like gonna fall in.
Really?
Yeah. And then like
you're calling me an amateur.
And I was just
big baby brain over here.
I wasn't
never treaded water.
I wasn't using a safety guard, and I didn't have cut up balls going into it. So
well, I think the Vaseline kept me buoyant. It was just my balls above the water. The rest of me's under it.
Who's the idiot? The guy who's always felt like they're going to sink in water, which is the natural thing for humans to do, or the guy who goes in with hacked up nuts?
All right, that's you, dude.
Okay.
A hypothetical question.
I'm the idiot here.
Yeah.
But yeah, go check it out. Go check out City Cave. Good fun.
It's good fun. It's a good time.
Did you feel tranquil coming out of it?
I felt so chill coming out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, did you?
Yeah, 100%.
I was like, oh, I wanted to book a massage afterwards because I was like, I don't want this to end.
Yeah, honestly, like I think for 170 you get like, you go from the sauna, infrared sauna as well, so you're not breathing in hot air.
Did you do that?
Yeah, I did. I did the sauna, the float, which is called a flauna.
Yeah.
But I didn't do the massage afterwards.
Okay.
So you can do the flauna for 100. I think it's 170 to have a massage at the end of it.
Yeah.
And then you can go in the chill room. Did you try the chill room, dude?
Is that just like the hangout room?
Yeah. They got like 3 different types of herbal teas.
I didn't. The one in Paddington just has water. Yeah, I know, dude.
Go to the ladies and gentlemen, if you're going to go to a city cave, go to Taringa.
Did they have all the teas at Taringa?
They've got a tranquil room with plants everywhere, really dimmed lights, and yeah, a few different types of herbal tea.
Very cool.
A couple of magazines if you want to read that, but if you just want to stare at a wall, be in a robe with your balls hanging, then...
Did they have Vaseline with the magazines? Is it those types of magazines?
They try and keep those things separate.
Okay. You can only try for so long.
I don't want the pages getting stuck together, if you know what I mean.
No, leave it all for the tub, right? Get you worked up in the chill room and then bring it out in the tub.
Yeah, super tranquil.
Yeah. And then, I was so chill coming out of it. And then, again, my me day, went home and watched Heat for the first time.
Hell yeah.
Such a good day. Better than my birthday. I'll just do that for my birthday next night.
Got super relaxed at like a day spa and then went home and watched an anxiety-inducing 3-hour action movie.
Michael Mann, Robert De Niro, Al Pacino. Check out probably the best crime thriller ever made on Netflix right now. Would recommend.
But if you don't have access to a paid subscription,
I said it.
And you want to watch something that is anxiety-inducing or at least cringe-inducing, we suggest that you watch the show we did watch this evening. But before we get to that, I believe it's
always like segue. Oh, wait, take it back to the other thing.
Oh, will they, won't they? But before we do, tune in next week. We might fucking actually review something.
A real Rachel and Ross situation going on here. Will they, won't they?
Rachel, I just want to review the show.
No, Ross, we got to read a review from last week.
Put your nipples away so we can review the show.
Both Rachel and Ross sound like David Schwimmer.
Jennifer Aniston just constantly sounds like this in real life.
Ross.
We do have a review from our residential main man, the one who got verbally harassed by our guest from last episode. It's part Australian, part Chinese. Smoked paprika.
Review of Sit Down with Rick Donald. Wow, what can I say? 5 stars again. First interview on the podcast, and what a gem with Rick being super generous with his time. I feel bad as my last review, I had only watched 2 episodes. Now I've watched all 6, I feel very different. Australia's Sexiest Tradie is much, much better than I originally thought. The beautiful 8-inch cock scene is worth the price of admission alone. Thanks, OTAT, for digging up this precious little show. Well done, sirs.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
What a sweetheart. Even after getting abused by the man Rick.
Yep.
Saying, he doesn't know my talent. You tell him to go fuck himself.
Who the fuck is this guy?
Who the fuck is this part Australian paprika cunt?
The one issue I would have with this review is that scene that he refers to, I don't think that's the show that you're watching, Lance. I think that's a different free-to-air website that you're on, mate. The beautiful 8-inch cock scene.
What are you talking about?
You'll find out one day when you grow up, Chief.
I don't get it.
Your dad watches porn.
Oh. Still free. Unless he's paying for fucking...
Unless he's a fucking amateur. Sounds like someone who gets a pillow and a flotation device and then has cut up balls.
Can I work this flauner into my Brazzer subscription?
The guy who pays for porn is probably the same guy who eats raw oats with tepid water.
Yeah, I'd say so. And gives birth to a man. He puts Vaseline on his nuts before salt baths. It's beyond cutting out now because that bit is integrated into everything we've talked about, like since telling the story.
We're not cutting that out.
Oh Jesus! All right.
There's nothing. This show is pure, unfiltered, unadulterated crap. And if you do want to be part of this content, then we suggest you do leave a review either on our YouTube channel, which you can subscribe to keep up to date with everything OTAT. We have the videos on there as well if the podcast isn't enough for you. Some people enjoy the audio. Some people actually like to watch us talk gobbledygook. Whatever, pick your poison.
Whatever floats your boat.
Subscribe to the YouTube channel, leave us a review on one of the videos, or you can just subscribe to our Instagram, tell your friends about it, and keep up to date with everything free to air, including this week's show.
We watched Love Island, guys.
We finally got to it. We watched Love Island. And that'll be this week's episode.
And that'll do. Thank you very much. No, we sat down and watched episode 9?
Episode 9 of the season. That's currently airing on Channel 9 right now. You can view or you can catch up with all the episodes now on 9 Now.
It's affectionately titled as Love Island Straya. Just if you didn't know what you were getting in for and you weren't sure like how bogan it's going to be, it's spelled Straya.
Yes.
Which is a touch of class when you've got Sophie Monk on the hosting duties as well.
Yeah, I don't mind that iteration of Straya, but when it's a show like this that takes it, it's one of those things where it's like, oh, okay, it's been said by a populace that I really don't like. So
a populist, yes. Thoughts on Love Island Australia off the top. Go on. What do you think?
Well, I mean, before I do get into the review of it, I think I might just give a quick rundown. If you don't know what Love Island is, if you've lived a very fulfilled life up until now, let me change that for you. Love Island is an iteration of a spin-off of a show from the UK called Geordie Shore, along with Jersey Shore. It's one of those really vapid reality TV shows where they get a bunch of really good-looking but really basic people in a location together.
A manor.
Yeah, a manor or a...
Love Manor, I think. Well, it's called Love Island.
A mansion or a villa or an island, yep, in this circumstance.
A big brother house, but a lot hornier.
Correct. A group of single men and women live together in a beautiful location for a few weeks. Soon they face various challenges as they try to find love and win the grand prize. So think Maths meets Survivor, but not really Survivor because it doesn't really put any rigorous challenge on these people apart from trying to string a sentence together.
Yeah, which is the toughest part sometimes. A sentence together without using one of 4 adjectives. Amazing, incredible, connection.
Trippy.
Yeah. Trippy. Dude, this is so trippy.
Initial thoughts on Love Island, Tom?
I think they're just all a bit weird.
They're just a bit quirky.
They're just a bit quirky.
They're not your standard. They're not your standard people.
I'm not like one of those basic bitches. People see me and I've got big tits and blonde hair and a good ass, and they think, oh, she must be so dumb.
I'm just a bit. Other girls are intimidated by me because I just get along with the boys. Like I'd rather hang out with the boys than the girls.
I'm more of a boys boy. I've always been a tomboy growing up.
Yeah, no, I'm just here to find someone special who like I connect with. Like we can bag either the girls or the guys out. They're both horrible in their own unique aspects. One of the biggest things that irks me about the guys is that they all speak in this like voice where they sound like they've got like laryngitis. Like they've just got like this really croaky voice.
Yeah, babe, it's just because they're chill.
They're just chill. They're chill, and it just makes them seem so hot.
When girls come up to me, the first thing that they see is like eyes.
My eyes.
And then rig.
Yeah. What am I looking for in the house? I don't know. I just I like all different types of personalities, and you know that's what really matters to me. And so yeah, if they're hot, that's cool.
That's cool. It's funny because the whole voice is like I'm indifferent and I'm laid back and I'm chill, but then like the structure of the show inhibits them from being that way because they have to find a partner to not go home.
You've got to be aggressive from the get go.
You have to, yeah.
So basically, the get go of the show is that what like 10 guys or like 8 guys, 8 girls are putting a house together. I'd probably say 10 each, 20 contestants.
Yeah.
You've got to find love, or you've got to be in a duo together by the end, and you're voted off every week, similar to Australian Idol.
Australia votes.
Australia votes. They make like a short list of 2 people that need to be voted off, and then like 3 other people vote, or 3 of the contestants from Love Island vote one of them off.
Yep.
The winning couple gets 50 grand and love forever.
Yeah. And we do your own research because we're not 100% sure how the fucking show works. I'm not going to put any more than 5 minutes of Wikipedia into
research.
Yeah, research and getting my head around it properly because it seems a bit strange because that girl who got voted off at the start was with a guy. So I thought you couldn't get voted off if you were with someone, but
no, because then everyone would just like buddy up at the very beginning, and then it's like, well, we can't vote anyone off because they're all in a couple.
So you can get voted off if you're in a rally still.
Yeah,
yeah. Okay.
I think because I think the thing that shout out to Sophie Monk as well, Australia's busiest entertainer.
There's not much she isn't on.
No, absolutely. Except my bed.
1 second, I had a Love Island.
Just kidding, Soph. No thanks.
And I know you want it.
As if she's.
I'm rejecting you. Okay.
Yeah. This bar just sailed, love.
How old are you? You look younger than me, but
this whale is no longer beached. And I'm talking about me. I'm not calling her a whale, just in case anyone thinks that I'm calling her.
Self-deprecating, not outwards deprecating. And that's funny and cool and pretty chill as well.
I'm pretty chill, dude.
I'm kind of weird about it. That's kind of my thing. I'm self-deprecating.
Yeah. So these people, like they're forced into making alliances. Like they say in the context of the show, you can either be in a relationship for love, for money, for as like an alliance, basically
for survival.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you don't actually have to. When you get to the end, if you still made it and Australia likes you, you can only win the money if you are with someone. So at the start of this episode, we came into it, and there was a dumping ceremony.
Yes,
I believe they call it.
That's right. It's not, you are no longer on the island. You are off the show. You're dumped.
Yeah, if it's not harsh enough, like just getting voted off by the whole nation saying, yeah, we're not that crazy about you. You also go, yeah, you've been dumped. And that was probably the funniest thing I've seen in a long, long time.
Oh yeah.
The sight of like 8 grown men in very tight shirts, out of their mind.
Tight rigs, just big HGH steroid jaws, just fucking trembling.
Yeah, just embracing each other and just bawling like 8-year-old girls
because
just crying.
Because someone they've known for the better part of 8 days is leaving the island,
and they are just torn the fuck up about it. And it's like, okay, I know the whole thing is men are allowed to cry as well, and it's good to show emotion.
We're not belittling any men for showing emotions.
But it's also like, if our forefathers saw that, the men in the trenches if our diggers saw a bunch of dudes crying, It's just, we've come so far. And I mean that in a good and a bad way. We've come so far.
It's so nice we can live in a world where one of the entertaining shows on our free-to-air channels or on television for us is a bunch of people crying over someone they've just met. But it's also kind of sad that we've come to this point, this crossroads.
Look, male progression in destigmatizing mental health and being able to talk about your emotions. You know, there's no more stalwart guys who just bury things down anymore and you get it out in the open. That's good. But there's two sides to every coin.
100%.
There's bad sides of everything.
Yes.
And I'd say this is the bad side of that coin.
Far outweighs the good.
Yeah.
Far outweighs the good. The scales are tipped in the favor of bad.
If Love Island exists and there's 8 grown men, like not just crying, these dudes are bawling their eyes out. And like one guy was crying so much and he was hugging a mate and he had to be assisted like across the room, like he had a broken ankle.
He was being held up by another guy
he was
crying.
Being held up by another guy crying. I'm like, you're crying so hard you can't walk?
Let me also say as well, a question to the audience. Who do you think, out of all the males, who do you think was crying the most? The guy that was in the relationship. So a girl was voted off. Was it the guy who was in the relationship with her? Was he crying the most? Or was it just some random guy? You decide.
Who was kind of mates with her.
It was the third party.
And as a second question to the audience, who do you think was crying more in the house in general if you split them down the middle by genders? Were the girls crying more or were the guys crying more?
We're not here to stereotype that one gender should
cry more than
the other. We're just saying that one gender is known for being more in touch with their emotions and being okay with sharing them. It was the guys.
Love Island breaks all that down. If anything, like you could look at this show and you go, it's the most regressive thing ever. It's disgusting. We are just objectifying people and it's so backwards. But then on the flip side, it's also very fucking progressive because I've never seen 8 skin tight shirt dudes with abs just fucking sobbing all over each other.
Yeah.
So maybe this is.
It's a good social commentary.
Maybe it is.
Maybe these are the future leaders of Australia.
I think so. If I don't see ScoMo in his next press conference bawling over
with a zero fade, and a couple of crucifix tats and like a tapered beard,
then I don't want it. Then he's not getting my vote.
No,
and that's the only reason he's not.
ScoMo, you are dumped.
ScoMo, you've been dumped. Yeah, I think if Julia Gillard got up in her famous like feminism speech in Parliament, that was like, this man I put up with. I think if the men in that room reacted the way that these boys reacted on Love Island, I think the men of Parliament would have been looked at very differently.
Absolutely,
that's all they needed to do. Yeah, to show their real emotions.
Show some real emotions, much like Sophie Monk, the Master of Puppets, did when the person was voted off, and like the reaction that you see from the host of the show, the person who knows who, or actually doesn't know, but the person...
She knows someone's going home. She knows the format of the show.
She knows the format. She's the one keeping everything running along at a smooth pace. We're talking like jaw hitting the ground, like gobsmacked, just... What? Someone's going home after I just told you guys someone's going home?
After the people in my earpiece tell me what to do and how shocked to look and where to stand and who's going where, it was Oscar worthy.
Yep.
If she doesn't get an aria, what's the Australian? No, a Logie.
A Logie.
If she doesn't get a gold Logie for that performance,
then there's no faith in the industry anymore.
Then I'm not watching the Logies.
No.
And I have been.
If I watch the Logies and I find out and I see the reaction that Sophie Monk doesn't actually get the award, I'm not watching the end of the Logies.
Boycott the Logies. I don't care if Tom Gleason's hosting again. I'm not watching the Logies.
No.
It was just hilarious. Like, it was just so fake. And it's like, Sophie, you're good, but you're not an actor.
Do you know the worst thing about this show?
What?
It wasn't the surface level people. It wasn't the fabricated emotions. It wasn't the fact that the guy crying about his girlfriend, his lover leaving, and her going, you can come with me if you want. He was like, nah, I really just want to experience the journey of like this competition and just kind of see it through to its natural end.
I wouldn't want to sell myself short of this experience.
And then 15 hours later, making out with a different girl.
Yeah.
That's not the worst thing. The worst thing was the host.
Oh, no, you don't mean the host. You mean the narrator.
Narrator, sorry. The narrator they clearly got from the UK Love Island because he's British. But I think they must have taken a leaf out of the "Come Dine With Me" notebook. This guy comes in with like funny quips of, that's not really how you meant to react, is it? Too many tears there.
Yeah. Why does every British show have this guy on it?
Yeah.
Like, or an incarnation of this guy.
Yeah.
Like it's so, it must just be a part of British reality television that like every single show just has a meh, like a mustache twirling.
Let's lighten the mood with Mr. Monopoly.
Yeah. Some guy says like, oh, I don't want to, like some dumb chat on the show goes, I just don't really want to put all my shoes in one basket.
Yeah. Shoes in one basket? He calls eggs shoes. It's like there's a dozen different ways you could have gone with that line.
No, just blatantly call it out. That was also the most used line in the show, apart from like amazing and connection, was eggs in one basket.
Yeah.
I just don't want my eggs in one basket.
It's weird. It's as if the contestants were getting like brainwashed or influenced by the fact that there was just chooks, like there's literal chickens running around the little shag pad Love Island thing.
Yeah.
Because, there were at least 3 times in one episode, they're like, I just don't want to put all my eggs or shoes in one basket.
Well, it's a very like dumb guy, easy way to say like, I don't want to commit to you. It's a very soft way to put that. There's all these other birds running around, including the chooks.
It's also a term for like that's meant to be used in like, if you're going for job interviews or like usually for investments, actually, like
diversify your portfolio. Boys.
Correct.
Do you think the Chads are going to come on this show and go, babe, I just really want my portfolio to be diversified?
Babe, I just got to make dividends, mate. All right. Okay. We're on a spike right now and it's not going to last forever. I got to cash out and then wait for the spike to dip and then we'll find ourselves in. Jesus Christ! Sorry, there's bloody mozzies in this studio.
It's a seller's market out here, babe, and I just. He was doing so well, and his mozzie
went straight through in one ear, out the other. Fucking.
That's what made him start talking like that.
Oh,
you sweet dude.
I hate mozzies.
That's why I love sleeping downstairs.
Leave me alone, you fucking parasites.
But yeah, it's there's a few in here. Yeah.
Yeah, so that was my...
Where were we? Sorry.
We actually, for a show where the episodes go for like 50 minutes, probably hour 5 with commercials, we seem to just, like, I remember saying to you when it started, I was like, if we only make it halfway through, let's just review that. And we enjoyed it. The one part that like made my, for lack of a better term, when you're watching a movie and you're invested in it, your suspension of disbelief, my suspension of reality, I guess, like just being invested in this show. The one thing that broke it was the host.
Yeah, he is like a sore thumb. Hey, it's quite jarring.
Yeah,
it's just like because it's like so like he doesn't add anything.
No.
He doesn't explain anything that hasn't already been. There's not much to explain. It's all pretty straightforward. If this show needs, it's not Inception. You don't need a voiceover telling you what's going on because you can't keep up with the plot. It's all very simple.
It's almost as if like, oh, there's not enough shtick in the house. There's not enough personality and flavor in there. We need to add a little bit of like, like of a fireworks.
Well, that's the thing. The people they get on these shows is like they get the hottest people, and that's all they are. They're hot. So you sacrifice a lot of personality. Whereas like if you're recruiting for a Big Brother, there are attractive people on there, but there's also some goofballs and some funny dudes.
Oh, the latest season of Big Brother had like people that were 45 years old. They were dads or mums or I think there was a grandmother on there.
Yeah, there was. Yeah,
like they actually went out and pushed the diversity agenda.
Yeah, and this show's version of doing that is one token black guy and one token black girl.
Yeah.
Literally one. It's like, oh, okay, you passed the David. But again, it is the most shameless version of like it's not pretending to be anything more than what it is. Like you could argue that maths is trash, but parades around as we're actually trying to hook couples up and we've got experts.
Yeah, we're relationship experts. It's trying to be couples therapy.
Yes, it's trying to, yeah, exactly. The show couples therapy.
Whereas Love Island, the thumbnail says it all if you go into 9 now. It's this like airbrush, saturation turn up to 3 million of Sophie Monk as a mermaid.
She's
on
a
rock.
mermaid, dude.
Yep.
She's got a fish bottom half. It's like, okay, we're watching Love Island.
Yep.
This isn't like Bachelorette even, like this season is like, everything is just
Pushing a social agenda or like trying to say, oh, we're saying something more than what the show actually is.
what's the word? It's not gaslighting. It's not showboating when you're like pretending to be progressive, but you're actually just doing it to like sell tickets.
Yeah, okay.
Should I call Nick? I reckon he'd know.
Sure. Mid-up.
Hey, bro. What's the word for like grandstanding or like white knighting that like the Oscars do or like a corporation does when
Signaling.
virtue signaling?
Virtue signaling. Thank you, Nick.
Thank you, mate.
Fuck. Why did you need that so bad?
We're on the podcast right now. We really couldn't think of it.
You're on the air tonight, Nick Billet.
Oh, fuck yeah.
It just screeched to a halt because we couldn't fucking think of it. I was like, let's call Nick. He'll know.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm all about that.
Yeah.
All right. On Mr. Betty Boss.
Is there anything else you'd like to say to our guests, Nick? I mean, our fans?
Yeah, he's going. What he's watching?
Love Island.
Oh.
Yeah. Have you watched any?
She's watching it. What's the UK one?
Yeah. We're doing episode 9.
Big fan.
Yeah, big fan.
You kind of look like the contestants, Nick. No offense. You don't sound like them, but you look like them.
He sounds like him right now.
That's that alpha complex.
All right, mate.
Local alpha of the show, Nick Billet,
Thanks for that,
ladies and gentlemen.
Chat soon. Right. There you have it, virtue signal.
They're trying to. So, what was the point you were trying to make with who's trying to virtue signal?
I was saying that shows like The Bachelorette are virtue signaling
Yes.
this year.
Yes.
By putting a indigenous, bisexual bachelorette on, and it's like
Ticking the diversity boxes.
ticking the diversity boxes and going, we really care, but it's actually just they're selling more advertising by doing so because it is a trend right now. And it is good because it's just like when you put it on such a shitty, trashy platform that is clearly garbage television, just don't pretend to be something you're not. And this show doesn't do that, which I suppose you can give it credit for.
You absolutely can. It's not making it's not fabricating any sort of commentary as to what it is. It's calling a spade a spade. We're a basic show for basic people.
Yeah. And sometimes there's more merit in that, but then it's also like just admitting that you're shit doesn't mean you're good. It just means you're not fake.
Yeah. But
It's still shit.
This show's as fake as it comes as well.
Yeah, yes,
Like,
it is.
It's not, the show's not fake, but it pushes, it makes people who are fake popular.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it pushes that archetype of like, it's okay to be beautiful and roided up because that's all that matters is just being really good looking and loving to party.
Yeah, and that like in itself like projects a lot of negative shit on young people as well. Like I feel like we did work society did a lot of work to get away from shows like this, and like there's so many shows right now about there's so much rhetoric in the media about body positivity and like plus size models and it's okay to be this and that. And then this show comes out and it's just like, nope, it's fucking...
Just to let you know, if you
have to be hot or else you're not desirable.
If you don't have washboard abs or a bubble butt, then you're disgusting.
Yeah, go home.
The girls...
And it's all you should care about as well.
Throughout the show, the guys are constantly working out and the girls are constant... Like, there's about 20 separate shots of the girls just doing their makeup throughout the show. I'm like, I'm sure they're not doing their makeup the entire time, but you're making it seem that way.
Yeah, the only time you see all the girls hanging out is in the mirrors, and the only time you see all the guys hanging out is in the gym.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's... All of the people on the show are extremely vain, and that's the whole point of it. The only social metric in this whole show is hotness. Is he hot? Yes or no? And they all are. Like, some are hotter than others, but everyone's just hot, and no one really gives a fuck about, like, is he nice or, like, is he funny or...
You got to make sure that his energy's lit.
You do have to make sure.
I think your energy's lit. My favorite line from the show, ladies and gentlemen.
So good, dude.
I just find, like, yeah, your energy's real lit. It's real trippy how we've kind of come together and just made this amazing connection. And I've just really deep connection of how I've gotten to know you on so many spiritual levels. Like, it's just crazy.
Don't ask meatheads to talk about their emotions. Imagine going on a first date or a second date, even just getting to know a girl and going, I think your energy's pretty lit.
Yeah.
It's like, try that in real life and see what happens.
That is one way of just like thinning
it's
people
a filter.
Yeah, 100%. If you say that to someone, they're just like, what the fuck does that mean? You're like, sorry, I just needed to make sure you didn't like Love Island.
Yeah. But then if they do like it, you go along with it. You're like, oh, okay, I've got an absolute idiot.
Do you like Grue from Despicable Me as well? There's one point in the show where, like,
Zoe, I think it was.
Funnily enough, the guy who was crying really hard over his lover leaving and then making out with the girl 15 hours later, between those two events happening, he gets everyone in the pool and he does like what could be described as like a okay German accent, but he pretends to be Hans, the water aerobic instructor, really erotic, sexually involved. Hi, my name is Hans. Today we do a workout.
Yeah.
And he was like getting real pumped up, and I was like, were you just crying over your misso leaving?
Yeah. Now he's entertaining the troops.
Yeah. And then a few hours later, one of the girls, Zoe, was like, she's the one who was like, I think your energy's lit. I think you're so funny and you've got this amazing sense of humor. And he's like, I'm just like a really softly spoken, kind of reserved guy. It's like, you were like gyrating in front of the pool just before.
Yeah, I think he's full of shit.
Yeah.
He's like, he was so confident in front of everyone. And he's like, I want you to stretch and I want you to push and do your sexy face.
Do your gyrate, baby. Let it work for you.
He's fucking killing it and like lapping up the attention. And then he like gets one-on-one with this girl and he's like, I don't know. I'm just like, I don't pick up that much. I'm kind of shy.
Yeah. And she's like, you're not shy. You're confident. You're just softly spoken. I love your quirky side. Like, that was so funny, the impression that you did. Me and my family, we love doing Grue from Despicable Me. Do you know it very well? He's like, and like it kind of like you see his face, it kind of backfires. He's like, shit.
He's like didn't have a chance to answer really.
No.
It was like, Grue.
And then she does like a really shitty Grue. Hello? Oh yeah, that's how I answer my phone with my family. He's like, what? That's lit, babe.
Yeah, that's crazy that you do that. She's like, I just go, no, hello?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
And that's the self-described weird girl.
Yeah, and he's just like still playing I'm like a bit shy. I don't go out and pick up on girls, and like I don't be really crazy if I just asked if we could kiss right now.
Yeah, he doesn't. All the other guys just plant one on the girls.
Yeah,
when the moment's right.
And he's just kind of doing the whole like looking at his toes at the school dance, like
knobbly knees, like
being a bit coy. Some would say, real coy soy boy.
Yeah, just kind of a bit unsure of himself and asked permission to kiss her. No, he's like, he's just kind of staring off into the distance. She's like, what are you thinking about? He's like, I was just gonna say, no, don't worry about it. She's like, no, tell me. He's like, well, I was going to say, like, maybe we could kiss, but nah, don't worry. It's probably too soon, isn't it? And we're just watching him like, this fucking psychopath puppet master is the, like, most confident guy in the room, and he's playing the shy guy routine.
It's working as well.
She's eaten out of his hand.
You know, the crazy thing is that probably is like clearly this guy's used that time after time after time in the clubs or in the bars, just picking up girls. And it's something that has worked for him. The strike rate must be like, he's just hitting dingers.
Hitting dingers, dude. Non-stop, just knobbly knees. Yeah, it'd be crazy if I kissed you, but nah, forget I said it. It's probably too soon.
And then just like when he's with all the boys, just, let's fucking go, Jaeger bombs.
Yeah, now you boys have to lift and you have to drink. It's like you're two different people, dude. You know the cameras are rolling all the time, right?
We should go ahead and delete our Hinge accounts and jump on the whole, I'm just shy, babe.
Yeah. Just liquid indifference all the time. Just head hanging between your knees. I don't know. No one wants to fuck me anymore, dude.
Just kicking up the dust. I'm just a sad, brooding type.
No, because it only works if you're the hottest cunt in the world.
This is true.
Otherwise, you just look pathetic.
You need to be built like Dwayne The Rock Johnson, but have the face of, I guess, just be Zac Efron.
Some of us regular folk that doesn't work for out there.
No.
You can't just be kicking stones around.
You'll get kicked out of clubs. Sir, not only are you not hot enough, you're way too depressing. Everyone's looking at you and just feeling worse about their life. You're reminding them of their jobs, their taxes, their bills.
I've never seen someone single-handedly kill the vibe in a club before. We're about to turn the house lights on if you don't leave.
That's the thing. You can't be externally brooding to everyone. You've just got to like be on the dance floor, on the D floor, dancing, cutting shapes, and then when you get to the bar next to her, go and be like, "Yeah, I'm just kind of like a deep thinker."
Yeah.
What star sign are you?
She's like, I just saw you take your pants off to my humps. Don't act like you're shy, dude. Oh, you saw that? Oh, sorry.
Yeah, that
Next
was
club.
Yeah, my cat just died. This is my way of dealing with processing emotions. Do you want to go around the back alley and cry?
She's like, back alley. I just mean to cry.
Yeah, I just wanted to get your Snapchat.
Do you have a dead pet? Like, I'd love to have you cry on my shoulder about it.
Yeah, it's cool. It's cool.
It's cool. It's cool.
Yeah, let's. You want to show me that Grue impression again?
Have you got any cool Grue impressions? So we get all the bar, dude.
It's making me cringe thinking about it, dude.
Have you got any Despicable Me impressions? All right, 3, 2, 1. DreamWorks or Pixar? Go.
Pineapple on pizza? Does it work or not?
Are you funny? Are you weird? You strike me as one of those weird girls. You're a dog person.
Got a real divisive question to ask. Do you like dogs? You like dags?
All right, ready? 3, 2, 1. Dogs or cats? Fuck, dude.
So, Tom,
have you seen I Love You, Man?
I have seen I Love You, Man.
You know, Paul Rudd in that trying to fit in at Jon Favreau's poker game.
Vaguely. It's been a while since I've seen it.
He's like, the whole premise of the film is he doesn't have any guy mates.
Yeah.
So
oh, yes, yeah.
Best line in that movie that I quote so much is he's like trying to fit in, smoking stogies with the boys, and he's like, all right, on 3, Beatles or Stones, ready? 3, 2, 1. Favreau's just like, fuck off. Just blowing cigar smoke at his face.
Shit question, dude.
Yeah, dude. Don't try to connect with us. We're here to play poker. I'm here to take your money.
And it's after him like cleaning up like a few rounds, like taking all their money.
Yeah, and he's like doesn't know that he's winning.
Yeah.
He's like, he's sitting there with a fucking Rainbow Ranch flop. It's like, I didn't know it was the rainbow one.
Taking all their money and being socially awkward, like not participating in the conversation.
Yeah.
Worst person in the room.
Yeah, trying to force Beatles or Stones references.
Fuck off.
Fuck off. And then he vomits all over Favreau's face.
That's right.
Yeah. Go check out I Love You, Man.
Yes, probably better content than what we watched this evening.
Yep.
Speaking of which, what would you give Love Island, Tom?
Love Island Straya.
Love Island Australia featuring Sophie the Monk.
Love Island Australia probably gets a solid. I was entertained. I wasn't bored at any point. I'm not going to watch any more of it because I think it will make me
leak brain cells.
Yeah, less intelligent.
Just turn up to work with just really perfectly trimmed eyebrows and tight pink jeans.
Yeah.
No offense to anyone if that's your thing. Don't beat me up.
I'd rather just show up to work with a fucking washboard abs and pecs, but it takes a bit more time than.
Sup, babe?
Sup? Do you guys want to buy some radio?
Do you guys want to go be sad together?
My cat just died. You do any good Grue impressions? What do I give it? I give it 4 Grue impressions out of 10.
Hello, I am Steve Carell, the office. I wish I didn't leave.
Or something.
Yeah.
What would you give Love Island Straya?
Yeah, you summed it up very nicely. Had fun with it tonight. Not sure if I'd go there again. Good one night stand with this show. But yeah, never going to call it again. It's it gets probably a 5 fake tans out of 5 fake tans out of 10.
Nice. 5 fake 10s out of 10. Could have gone anything, really.
Yeah, 5 chooks out of 10. 5 eggs in baskets.
5 eggs in a basket out of 10.
I missed it.
That's all right. That can be your official rating. 5 eggs in 10 baskets out of 10.
Yes, indeed.
That was so much fun. Well, how good to be back another week.
Yes, yeah, we're very glad to be back. If you did enjoy the episode, or if you have stayed this long to listen to our nonsense, we do thank you so much for joining us on the air tonight. He's been Tom.
That's been Larry.
Yep, that's me. If you did enjoy the episode, please share it with a mate, a loved one. Give it as a gift. Christmas is coming up. Halloween's just around the corner. We were going to
gift.
We were going to review something spooky.
This is pretty scary.
This is pretty fucking scary. This is the future, ladies and gentlemen.
Way scarier than any actual horror on Netflix. If you like this episode, go to City Cave and make sure you Vaseline your balls before you jump in.
City Cave Taringa.
Make sure there's Vaseline. If not, bring your own.
Bye-bye.